faculties and students.
الاهتمام بالمكتبات العلمية والافتراضية في جميع مؤسسات التعليم الحكومي والأهلي.
Consideration for libraries in both private and public schools.
تشجيع الجامعات والكليات الأهلية على فتح قنوات التعاون مع الجامعات ومراكز البحوث الرصينة المناظرة خارج العراق.
Encouraging private schools to cooperate with solid research centers and schools from abroad or
إعادة
overseas.
النظر في قانون الخدمة الجامعية النافذ حاليا.
Review of the university service, current university service.
وزيادة الحد الأعلى لسن التقاعد.
Increase of retirement age, the maximum retirement age.
الآن حاليا الحد الأعلى لسن التقاعد هو 65.
Currently, the maximum is 65 years old for retirement.
وبالتالي هذا السن حرم العراق هذا التحديد لهذا السن من اختصاصات نادرة لأساتذة من خريجين جامعات عالمية متقدمة في أوروبا وأمريكا.
This retirement age of 65 have deprived Iraq from faculties or professors or teachers who have studied abroad in solid educational schools, and so he basically sees this age limit should be increased so that we can take advantage of those professors.
أخيرا زيادة التخصيصات المالية المخصصة للتعليم سواء التعليم بشكل العام بما فيه التعليم الجامعي. لأن الرقم الموجود في الموازنة أرقام يعني لا تتجاوز 10% من الموازنة العراقية، وهذا رقم بائس استطعنا أن نصف بهذا الوصف.
Lastly, increase of financial resources or allocation to the education system, which is right now at the rate of 10% from the total budget. So it should be increased.
أخيرا تفعيل اتفاقية الإطار الاستراتيجي بين العراق والولايات المتحدة في الحقل الثقافي.
And lastly as well, to activate the strategic framework agreement between Iraq and the United States in the field of in the cultural field or field of culture.
كونها تتيح مجال واسع لتطوير التعليم والاستفادة من خبرات وإمكانيات الجامعات الأمريكية الرصينة وتبادل الخبرات بين الطرفين.
Because it'll add to the benefit of Iraq to take advantage of what's available at the educational institutions in the United States. شكرا جزيلا دكتور.
أعتذر عن الإطالة وشكرا لسعة صدوركم في الوقت المخصص للاستماع.
I apologize for taking so long, and I thank you for listening to me.
Very good.
Is it good?
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
شكرا دكتور فرصة سعيدة.
Thank you.
في أسئلة أنا حاضر إذا أكو أسئلة مداخلات.
Thank you so much for Muhammad. I mean, he did a great job.
Yes.
He's a big professional. He was the lead, in fact, in this session. Thank you so much, sir.
And for letting us into their kitchen.
Okay.
And now we'll hear from Dr. Ahmed Al-Jafari, who is a former faculty member at Al-Mustansariya University, has a master's in education, administration, and policy, and is a PhD student at the State University of New York.
أحمد الجعفري هذا سألت.
Please. Thank you.
أستاذ أحمد خلي بالك من الوقت
ما تسأل.
خلي بالك من الوقت
متحفزين آخرين.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm Ahmed Jafari. Thank you very much for having me here today. I would like to ask you a few questions, such as, do you know how education improves economy in South Korea? Do you know how education improves society in Singapore? Do you know how education decreases poverty in Thailand? Do you know how education makes students happy in Finland? And do you know what education does in Iraq? Sorry. Unfortunately, it does nothing. Many reasons support my argument, such as while UNESCO works on decreasing poverty in the world through education, poverty in Iraq increases year after year. So poverty in Iraq is about 30%. This means that about a third of Iraqi nation lives with poverty. Second, uneducated people represent about 18% in our nation. Majority of them are females. Third, we have very high dropout in our schools. The dropout about is 73%. You might wonder, why this happened in Iraq? Look at these pictures. This is a school in 1955, and this is a school in 1964. You can see how classes were organized at that time. However, you can see how classes are organized in 2017. Don't be surprised. Unfortunately, we still have mud schools. So what about the school environments? So you think such an environment can make students happy? Students without chairs. So how we can educate our people if we don't have chairs for them? Again, you might wonder, why this happened in Iraq? There are many challenges and obstacles that highly affect our education. My agenda includes some of these challenges and obstacles. So I'm going to give you just a quick overview about our education, and then I'm going to present administrative system, infrastructure, training and empowerment, information system, opportunities, and financing as challenges and obstacles facing our education. Our education consists of 12 grades, 6 grades at elementary school, and 3 grades at middle school, and 3 grades at high school. The school begins at 6 years old and finishes at 18 years old. And it's important to mention that high school divided into 2 tracks, humanistic track and scientific track. Administrative system. Our system designed in a traditional hierarchical format with workers arrive at the bottom of the hierarchy. And we also adapt bureaucratic culture. So combining these together, many challenges and obstacles exist, such as first, decisions, orders, and structures are only made by the top level. And this was emphasized by 2011 Ministry of Education Act. According to this act, decisions, order, and structures should be only made by Minister of Education. Second, work in such environment is highly routinized, standardized, and formalized. This creates low rate of change and slowness in decision making. Third, workers look to their supervisor for decisions about their assignment and their job. So I would say that we employ assumption of theory X. According to theory X, managers make decisions and workers follow their decisions. So I would say we have a mechanic environment. Finally, workers face many difficulties when they try to communicate with the top level. As a result, problems take a long time to be solved. Infrastructure. School performance is highly associated with good infrastructure. These numbers are the basis of our infrastructure. In terms of faculty, we have about 489,988 teachers. These teachers teach about 7,808,300 students. The ratio of the students for each teacher is about 16 students. However, this number is changeable due to the location of the schools. In terms of schools, we have about 24,422 schools. These schools occupy about 16,970 buildings. Unfortunately, this creates double shift schools and three shift schools. Double shift schools mean that two schools use one same building. Three shift schools means that three schools use one same building. In terms of double shift schools, we have about 3,963 schools in elementary phase and 1,214 schools in secondary phase. In terms of three shift schools, we have about 424 schools in elementary phase and 140 in secondary phase. Moreover, we have a lot of school buildings, so we need to build 8,682 schools. And we have about 2,754 unsuitable schools. Unfortunately, we still have 1,107 mud schools. And finally, we need to renovate about 8,212 schools. So if we take unsuitable schools, mud schools, renovation schools together, if we added mud schools, unsuitable schools, renovation schools together, their total becomes 12,072 schools. So if we take the 12,072 schools from the 16,090 schools, we only get about 4,897 schools with good conditions, while other schools are not. Training and empowerment are other key challenges facing in our education. So we need to train about 220,000 teachers. They need training in school management and child-friendly teaching methods. Our teachers faces many challenges and difficulties, such as, first, they still have outdated knowledge in their subject. Second, lack of using technology in teaching. Third, lack of using modern teaching methods. Fourth, teachers still teach subjects that are not related to their major subject. Finally, the big challenge is the limited capacity of Ministry of Education in designing a comprehensive programs for teachers training. Information is the basis of planning, managing, and evaluating any education system. Unfortunately, we don't have a comprehensive national information system in our country. Therefore, Ministry of Education relies on a small statistic office, which is ineffective and isn't able to provide effective data. I believe this office is unable to guide education policy in our country, and it faces many challenges and obstacles, such as difficulties in identifying problems, second, difficulties to monitor and evaluate data, third, it is unable to propose solution